Government has only two ways of getting money other than raising taxes.
Rachel Reeves needs to take a listen to what Ronald Reagan had to say here. This video proves without a doubt that this government is breaking its promise not to raise taxes on working people.
It can go into the money market and borrow, competing with its own citizens and driving up interest rates, which it has done, or it can print money, and it's done that. Both methods are inflationary.
Bear in mind that Rachel Reeves has had to change the rules so that she can borrow so much money.
We're victims of language. The very word inflation leads us to think of it as just high prices. And then, of course, we resent the person who puts on the price tags, forgetting that he or she is also a victim of inflation. Inflation is not just high prices. It's a reduction in the value of our money. When the money supply is increased, but the goods and services available for buying are not, we have too much money chasing too few goods. Wars are usually accompanied by inflation. Everyone is working or fighting, but production is of weapons and munitions, not things we can buy and use. Now, one way out would be to raise taxes so that government need not borrow or print money. But in all these years of government growth, we've reached, indeed surpassed, the limit of our people's tolerance or ability to bear an increase in the tax burden. Prior to World War II, taxes were such that on the average we only had to work just a little over 1 month each year to pay our total federal, state, and local tax bill. Today, we have to work 4 months to pay that bill.
And the reality is 4 months is a third of the year, so that's a third of your income going to taxes. The reality is that for a lot of people, it's even higher than that. For a lot of people, it is working more than 6 months of the year for the government, especially when you put together not just the income tax that comes out of your bill, but you bear in mind all the tax you pay when, for example, every time you go to the shops, almost everything that you buy, 20% of that is going to the government in VAT, and so on.
Some say shift the tax burden to business and industry, but business doesn't pay taxes. Oh, don't get the wrong idea. Business is being taxed so much so that we're being priced out of the world market. But business must pass its costs of operations, and that includes taxes, on to the customer in the price of the product. Only people pay taxes, all the taxes. Government just uses business in a kind of sneaky way to help collect the taxes.
There you go. Rachel Reeves, I hope you're listening up to this. Your budget is not going to work, and the economy is crashing by no coincidence. Very well said from Ronald Reagan there. Old clip, but could not be more relevant today with what Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer are currently doing to our economy and taxing us to death. And they can try and squirrel the definition of what a working person is to act as though they haven't raised taxes on working people. But you heard Ronald Reagan there. Only people pay taxes. Not businesses, people. If you tax a business to death and say, oh, we're not taxing working people, we're just going after the businesses, that all is getting passed on to the customer. It's the people that buy things from businesses that provide them the income, that gives them some money to pay their taxes. You tax businesses to death, you're going to get inflation. They're going to have to put up prices and pass that on to the customer. Some businesses will have to shut down, leaving less competition and fewer businesses left in the market. What does fewer businesses in the market mean? Less competition, higher prices for the customer. It's inflationary. Okay? We are really wrecking the economy here in Britain. We're taxing people to death, and we are borrowing insane amounts to fund things like Ed Miliband's wind turbines, like $6 billion a year on our asylum system, whilst we take away the winter fuel allowance just to save $1.5 billion a year. The state of affairs is just so messed up, and it looks like we're stuck with these guys until 2029. It's not looking good. I don't think we'll be having that much change, that's the word that they campaigned on. I don't think there's going to be a heck of a lot of change. If anything, there'll be change in the wrong direction and we'll be getting poorer. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, ladies and gentlemen, but the economic policy of this Labour government is a disaster. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Chloe Dobbs. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Still watching? Well, I've got a quick ask for you. Recent UK, we're fighting the woke brigade and inspiring young Brits, but we need your help to go bigger. We're hosting a fundraiser and would love you to sign up and share the link on the big day. It's easy, it makes a massive impact, and there are prizes for top fundraisers. Click the Google form in the description to join us. Cheers very much. Let's keep going together.